Hello, my name is Todd Stockert, and today I will be demonstrating the standard-specific presets functionality for the VSA 2023 software. We're going to be starting in the adjacent channel power measurement. And within this measurement, we will then look at the standard-specific presets functionality. Click on this, it brings up the context menu, which is right here. You can also access this from the menu under context. Right. So everything inside this panel is related to specific context that may be added and configured. In this case, I'm going to add a new one. And we're talking about new radio signals here. So that is the particular context I'm going to choose. And then I'm going to add a name, a little bit more descriptive. There you go. You can name that whatever you want. I will put in my center frequency. And then I know that the signal I'm generating is an FR1 100 megahertz signal, which happens to be the default here. It's FDD, so that's a little bit different. But basically, anything related to standard test models and procedures that you might be interested in, you can configure from in here. And then I'm going to apply this to the current measurement. All right, so now we have a measurement that is creating the accurate performance measurement for the 5GNR signal. And if we look in more carefully here, we can see that the carrier and offsets and limits definitions correspond to what is defined in the 3GPP specifications. All right, so now what I will do is create a new measurement, which is an SEM measurement. And this is using the VSA multi-mesh feature, which has been around a long time. And I'll take this same setup that I've already created, and I'm going to apply that context to the spectral emissions mask measurement. And we can see that now that is also correctly configured for what would be necessary for 5GNR configuration. And the amplitude might be different depending on your setup. And so now I will do the same thing and into the modulation quality measurement. And we can apply the standard specific context to that modulation quality measurement right here. And I will quarter range. And we can see that it is giving us a reasonable measurement there. So just to show a little bit about the utility of this kind of functionality, I want to do something a little bit more complicated. I will go ahead and switch to another context, which in this case is a 2-component carrier signal configuration. I'm going to download that signal. And while that's downloading, I will go ahead and, actually, I'll go ahead and recreate that same setup. So start here by, again, we're using the new radio context. See, and I have my reference frequency. And in this case, I would like to make sure that my frequency spacing matches what I am testing. So I will set that up. I'm measuring 2 FR1 20 megahertz carriers this time. And it is, again, an FDD configuration. So those are the details that correspond to the test regime I'm trying to do. And then I will apply that context to each of these measurements. And basically, we can then see that the measurement has been fully updated to get to the correct settings for me to perform my measurement. So let's say if I want to look at the ACP measurement, I can run that one. Go into the SEM measurement, I can run that one. And for the multi-carrier situation, those types of configurations can be fairly tricky. There's a lot of detail that goes into the definitions of those in the 5GNR specifications. So we have encapsulated all of that into this context panel such that you can basically describe the test you're trying to configure. And once you've done that, we do everything else for how to apply it to the specific test scenario. And as I've demonstrated here, you can create a set of these and then basically just switch between them for configuring your existing measurements so that you don't need to touch the measurements themselves very much at all once you've created your set of desired test cases. All right, well, that concludes everything I wanted to present related to standard-specific presets for 5GNR for VSA 2023. Thank you for listening.